Okay, welcome back. And in this lesson, whatever we created, we're going to instantiate that and test it. And this should now be automatic and we don't have to use those manual controls that we used. Before I continue, I just realized that I've left an algorithm here that has not used. So you can leave it as it is, but since it's not used, just to avoid confusion, I'm going to delete that algorithm. Okay, go to our app, delete these connections. Okay, we will not use that. Let's move that in the corner. We will not delete it. Let's move that in the corner for now. Because it's a cat function block instance, when you delete it, you need to take care of certain things, which is beyond the scope of this section. So we will come back to this on how to safely delete this later. Okay, so just ignore this block here. Let's instantiate our central controller. Okay, I usually like my controller to be on the right and model to be on the left, because I always like to initialize model first and then the controller, because when you initialize the model, then these sensors get initialized, and then when the control afterwards is initialized after the model, then those will get the values from the control from the model that are correct. So that's why I like to use control on my right. Well, control, I just want the controller to be initialized after the model. That's the main intention here. So you can put controller on the left or right, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that instantiates second. Okay, and make this connections. Now you know why I kept the order same, so that I can just quickly make those connections. Otherwise, if the orders are not same, then I have to check here and then do some cross connections, and it doesn't look good. So that was the main intention why I was trying to see and maintain the same order. Okay, now if you take a close look, you will see that these are dotted lines, and if you remember from the last section, you'll obviously already be thinking, oh yeah, I remember these are dots because this one is mapped and to some device and this is not mapped, so the tool is warning you. So let's go ahead and map this lifting luggage to that resource. Okay, it is mapped, everything is solid lines again. Let's go back to the resource and move this guy here. Just rearrange this properly, and we don't want to initialize that anymore. Instead, we'll just initialize this and this CNF to this. Make sure you make this connection not here, but in the app, because they don't get. Also, I would like this to be down. I want all my event connections to be on top and data connections to be the bottom. Okay, looks good aesthetically. Let's go to devices. It looks like it's mapped. Start the soft PLC. I will also, this time, before deploying, I'm going to run my canvas. Right click, test HMI. Okay, and you see that this is in pink. That's because it's just a way of knowing that it's not able to communicate with the soft runtime, and that's an indication. That's obvious because we haven't deployed. So let's go ahead and deploy. Okay, here is our workpiece coming in. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see if this control that we designed works. Looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, we have a bug, looks like, in our control, because the pusher did not extend. Let's go back here. Let's add watch here and add watch here. Let's see, pusher is still extended. Okay. Retract lift should have been true, right? Because that seems to be not true. Let's go to a central controller, go to ECC, push luggage. Yes, if you already see what is happening, I think you've noticed it, but let's do a little bit of debug session, right? So the push luggage is done, okay? So we should have ideally gone to luggage post state, okay? We have request, pusher is extended. Yes, pusher is extended. You can see this sensor. So we are actually in the state, and we did set in the algorithms, we did make retract lift to true. That means it should go down, and extend pusher equals false. That means it should start retracting, but it didn't. Like I said, you probably noticed it. And if you noticed it, you're guessing it that there is no CNF event here. Remember I said, make sure you emit CNF event. Otherwise your data will not be updated. Let's go back, emit that CNF, close, save, go to devices again. You don't have to build it because every time you deploy, it will build automatically. It says that there is already a solution running. Do you want to clean it before deploying the new one? I say yes. It will become pink. And let's see if our bug is fixed. Okay, pushing down. There we go. And it goes back to initial state, and then this continues. Okay, so that was the goal of this lesson, to instantiate this central controller and test it that it runs. Now, the whole idea of 61499 is distributed control. So we don't want just one control. We want to add a controller for this mechatronic system and this mechatronic system. So, and then later on, we will use a real PLC later in this tutorial and control it with a real PLC. Towards that goal, first we will need to split our central control into two blocks, one that controls this one and one that controls this one. And that's what we're going to do in the next lesson.